Guys, just let me take a second to introduce really two pillars of how we've turned this program around over the last 4 years. Rika Say, Allie McDonald, they are the two seniors that are leading this squad, and incredibly proud of how far we've been able to come. Their example in the classroom, on the golf course, and out in the community. We could not be where we are. We could not have the team chemistry that we have without these two. So, very proud.
Looking at the SEC championships, I guess the last couple of years y'all came in pretty high on and didn't have the greatest finishes. What do y'all have to do different this year to kind of finish higher than what y'all did the last couple of seasons?
Last year, finishing fifth showed these young ladies that they can play with the defending national championship Alabama in the last round and can handle that pressure. I think that last year we had one bad round. It was an anomaly. It was 15 to 20 shots above our scoring average, hadn't got close, and it's just one of those things that happened. It also proved that we can go and shoot great numbers in the last two rounds, even though it didn't move us up too terribly much. But we proved to ourselves that it was just kind of a freak occurrence, and we treated it as such. And then we were able to go to work in the postseason. So I think that our goals are, top five minimum in the SEC championship. I personally look for better, but I think that at this point, rankings don't matter. This is a 54-hole event with some of the best teams in the country, and our squad being one of them. Hopefully we'll have some decent weather to be able to play all 54. It looks wet, but I'm going to brag on the team again in that we have the most resilient squad, and weather doesn't matter because they really understand that everybody plays in it, and that you get what you get, and there's going to be standing water, or there's going to be a little bit fat shots, whatever the case may be. And I think that because of their maturity day in and day out on the golf course, that weather will not be a factor.
For Allie and Rika, I guess y'all played Greystone the last couple of seasons. You've seen the course, so how comfortable y'all feel on that course?
Well, actually, it's a 36-hole golf course at Greystone. Well, they have two different courses, but they have moved it to the other one, so we really haven't seen it.
Smooth. So
We'll start anew. That's right.
So how difficult is that? I mean, just going to a new golf course and playing a championship like this?
Well, I think we honestly play best when we haven't seen a golf course before. We really don't have any, negative or positive either way to influence how we play. So I think a lot of it just goes to, you see it and you go and you execute every shot like you would, even if you had seen the golf course. But the good news is that, the past 2 years we haven't played our best at the other golf course, so I think it's kind of a new slate and it'll be good for our team.
Feel the same way, Rika, that y'all played well on a course you've never been at before?
Definitely. I mean, historically, since coming in freshman year, there's only 2 or 3 tournaments that we've returned to in these past 2 years. So it's nothing we haven't done before, and I have every confidence in my team that we can, come out better than we have before.
Things you have done before, obviously being seniors, how different are things now when you go into the postseason compared to that first time when you hadn't been to those kind of things before? I mean, you got to feel more comfortable now, I would think.
We definitely think that we do feel more comfortable, especially after having experienced these last 2 years. We're just at a different ball game compared to when we were coming in freshman year. We're respected by teams now, and people see us as competitors rather than just a team that's there to play. So I think we've really grown a lot over these last 4 years.
Ginger, coming off LSU, I mean, you have to have a little bit of confidence in your group the way they finished in Baton Rouge. Can you just talk about that, trying to carry that over into postseason play as well?
The University Club at LSU is probably one of the most difficult golf courses that we play, or that is played in college golf. One of the major factors are the green complexes, and they were rebuilt and redesigned by, Tom, it's gone from my head, a former LSU player. And we chose not to go back. It was so incredibly difficult and unfair 5 years ago when we took the team down there. We chose not to return for 4 years. But by the fact that they host a regional in 2016, it was time to get over it. And we play what we play, and everybody plays it. So I think that the first day hurt us a little bit. Our first day was not great for our squad. But we came back with two very solid rounds in the last two of the event. And again, it showed how resilient these ladies are and how serious they are about getting the job done, their score, their own team, without regard to who's in the field. And I think that's been some of our strongest mental capacity is the maturity of this squad and being able to focus in on what we can do and what factors we can control. And they're superior at that.
Allie, I know there's still a long way to go in the postseason still, but your senior year, has it kind of gone the way that you envisioned it so far?
Yes and no. It's been fun. A senior year, I feel like you can put so much pressure on yourself that, like, what's next? What am I going to do when I get done? But I think I've done really well with, trying to keep everything in perspective and, focusing on the here and now. I think I had a few tournaments this year that I didn't play as well as I should have. But all in all, it's been a great year. And, coming to postseason, I feel like everyone is finding their stride, and this is the time to find it. So we just need, everyone to put together good scores, and I think we'll see a lot of great golf in the next few weeks.
Kind of jumping on that, Allie, I know, like you said, you've got a long way to go with postseason play, but have you thought about your career after Mississippi State? Have you entertained the thought of professional golf at all?
Yeah, that'll be the plan, I guess. After nationals and everything, we'll see where it goes. But yeah, definitely Q school in August. But like I said, here and now, just trying to keep everything in perspective. So finish the year strong, and then we'll tackle whatever it is that's next.
Ginger, what areas of improvement have you seen in her game over the last year?
Well, I can speak to both of these young ladies, and I think that their work ethic has always been in place, and that is one of the major reasons why you can track their progress over the 4 years they've been here. And part of a reason for that is, though, we spend a lot of time on the mental aspects, the course management decisions. Managing your emotions out there is a huge part of the success that this program has really enjoyed. But both Rika and Allie are great thinkers. They're good visionaries on the golf course. They can see shots that they want to pull off. And I think that very quote was Jordan Spieth's one. He's a player versus a great practicer. And these girls are great practicers and great players. They can see what they want to have happen. And I believe if you see it, I've told them over and over to see yourself holding that SEC championship trophy. How else are you going to know that you can get there? Is feel the weight of that and feel the pride of that and visualize yourself. But their mental game is superior, and again, they practice so hard on the mechanics of it. But then when they get on the golf course, all that goes away, and then it becomes getting it in the hole.
Ginger, how does this year feel different in the sense that from people away from the program, it just seems, okay, they're going to be good, but now this almost feels like this is where the season starts. Does that kind of translate to it? It almost seems like people are now taking for granted your regular seasons, and okay, now the real fun begins, what you can do in the postseason.
It is. It's interesting, and because the rankings don't mean anything now. So as we go into the SEC championship, it's a 54-hole golf tournament. No ranking, no scoring average, nothing means anything now. So it's 54 holes of a competition, and I would put these girls up against anybody in the country. And again, it doesn't really matter how you finish at the SEC championships either when you move into the first round of the national championship. Then it's another 54-hole event. There's going to be 18 teams at 4 regions. The top 6 move through to the national championship finals. And again, the national championship finals will be, for the first time in the history, a match play situation after 3 days of stroke play. So it's a long week, but again, I think that because these ladies are so strong mentally, that I would put them up against anybody else to be able to handle the length and the depth of the pressure in the national championship situation.
Rika, you mentioned other teams kind of respect you now, or maybe they didn't at a certain point. How does that change? Does that make you a better player? I feel like the mental side of that, you got to feel pretty good when you have that confidence, knowing that other people are respecting you, scared of you, whatever it is.
Right. It's not necessarily that the teams didn't respect us. We were just not noticed. But now we're going into tournaments and people know that we're competitors and we're capable of taking home the trophy, which has been really fun compared to freshman year. Just getting adjusted, obviously coming from New Zealand in a new country, and yeah, we've just had so much opportunity to grow, and it's fun.
As we change the culture of Mississippi State women's golf, something that we keyed in on. We wanted people to know who we were based on the color of our shirt. When you get out of the van and you're in your maroon, those teams, I want them to know who you are based on that and the confidence that comes from wearing your maroon with pride. And so it's taken us a couple years to change that. But as Rika said, we are now true competitors and contenders for every event that we enter. And that is a great feeling. And it's an expectation that doesn't come with pressure. It just comes with, we know we're doing the work on a daily basis. And we rely on all that money going into that bank so that we can call on it every day. That's how you win championships.